Hey guys, how are you doing? It's been a while. I know I've been away for I think about 3 months now, and I miss you all. So let's get back to. I came back with an exciting news because I want to show you how to create this beautiful Web3 or crypto dashboard uh, using an inspiration from a game Call of Duty or Cyberpunk. We want to have this effect, this feel on your dashboard. So let's get into it from scratch. You see, this is the game poster I saw. I was like, oh, this is good. All right. We're gonna use this little guy in a minute. So let's go up and get our frame ready. Want to use iPhone? Sorry, I'm using MacBook Pro 16. All right, let's just call this COD dashboard. Dashboard. All right. So we keep moving, right? We want to choose the color from our poster COD. Here you are, palm. You see 020202. I love that because at the same time you can use 000000, right? But in case you don't want to go to that depth or exploring the darkest of the of black shade, right? You can stay here. It's safe. It's safe actually. All right, let's do something quick. Uh, there is something I did here, and this is an outline. Uh, I'm just thinking about that right now. Why do we need to use outline? We can at the same time just explore glass morphism for this effect. Create something beautiful. So let's try that. We'll put this all the way up. For this, I want the stroke to be down only, so I want to put this bottom only, and I want to use a stroke that is close to dark and yellow. Something, just pick something within that range. I don't want it to. Okay, yes, we can. So come to effect. Oh, glass is not working because right now we are using a shape. We can only use this glass effect if you're working on a frame. So, but don't panic, guys. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Let's keep working on our frame. Won't achieve that, so I want to do this. Hit enter. Once you hit enter, you see these four nodes on across your board. So what I want to do is to bring this node down here and bring this other node down here. Now, for the sake of uniformity, because I want it to be uniform, and right now I cannot even calculate, I can't calculate the angle at which I'm meant to pull this, is kind of crazy. So there's another trick we can use, and that trick is simple. So let's just duplicate the same frame, then duplicate it, or then alt, then I duplicate it upside. You see that? So I'm able to have the same on both sides. For this shape, I can at the same time just union, hold the two shapes together, one shift two, then come over here to unite it practically. So I want to bring this union into my shape. Let me give it a different color so you can see what we're working on. All right, so if I align this to the center, we can all see where we have this. I want it to move a little bit to the center away. I want to give it a bit of space. Okay, I think this works well for us. So what do we need to do now? We click on shift. Now I'm holding shift because I want to hold this other big guy, and then I come over here to subtract it from each other. Now we are able to have a shape that looks just like this, but not yet. We know, you see, we can see. So let's give a stroke. Hopefully we can put it down stroke. Now that is gone, we can no longer add that to this because we have. So I come into the subtract itself, and click on my rectangle, the initial rectangle I subtracted. Then here I can put my see my shadow or my outline. Let's say I even take this off so it's still not showing. Okay, we need not to be worried about that. So what do we do to make it show is a very good question we both asking. You see, in the original file that I designed, I used an outline but just along the line, I feel like, wow, maybe a glass morphism will work for this. So let's explore that. Come over here and choose the plugin called glass. Plugin called morph, right? Under this morph, you have a glass effect. So you can also check that. You see what we have? Yeah. So let's see what we can do. Add a bit of blurriness to it, reduce the opacity. I don't want it to be too loud. What other thing do we need to do to this? I think this really makes sense. So let's keep it at this. So I apply that and I delete. So I no longer need you because I have this. You can at the same time add a stroke to this. And now if your stroke is white, follow me, you understand what I'm about to do. Then I want to give it a gradient. Right. So the gradient, I want it to be the color of my background because I want it to look like glass. Move this over down here. Then okay, let's keep going. I have a feeling we should just turn it upside down. Oops. Okay, let's bring it upside down. See, it will still make sense. I knew it. I know it will still make sense. So let's make it straight. Bring this down in a way that it looks like the outline is reflecting, to reduce the opacity. I don't want it to be too shouty. I want it to reflect like a glass. Yeah, something like this. So let's pick this color, something close to dark yellow. Yes, I love this. So we can increase the width of our lines like 2.0 so that it's visible, right? So bring this up here, and here you go. Extend it to both sides. Now we have this beautiful thing we see here. Let me show you the other thing I created that is beautiful. So let me bring this into my frame. Let me bring this. So let us use a grid so we don't get lost. Column, I want to keep it as 140 pixel on the margin, right? The margin on both sides. So it means this design. 140 seems to be big, but nothing to be worried about. We come into our subtract. Then we'll click on this. I believe you all see this in our union, and reduce the size. If it's not working, you manipulate it. You are the creator. All right, let's go. So I want to remove this guide now. I'm done for the side. You see that? Move it up if you have to. That's the first one, and the second one on this side I want to show you. This is also interesting. How did you create that beautiful active state? I know that's the question in your mind right now, so I'm going to show you. Let me reduce this too because I don't want this to get into each other. So how do we create this? I already give you an hint. It's the same way. So we can have a frame, have a frame or a box, use whatever you want, and then give it a few color, but this time I want the color to be a gradient, and this gradient I want it to be 3 kind of gradients. That this first part should give me something close to my I want it to be something close to my accent color. This is yellow, and I want it to be something close to black. All right, so I bring it down a little bit. If that's the best way works for you, just do what works for you guys. Don't. Sometimes some people use opacity, for example. Once they click on this, they use an opacity. You see this, and what they do is reduce the opacity until they get what they want. Some people just go ahead and pick the color straight. So either ways, do what works for you. So let's use either ways. Let's do 50% on this side. The same thing goes on this side. Just copy your X code here, put it on the last side, paste it here, and change this to 50% also. And the middle should be the color of your background, right? I hope you get that. In case you're wondering, this is not looking nice enough, maybe we need to increase. Let's make it 2, so widen it a little bit. widen it a little bit, something like that. Oh, right now it's not giving what we should, so let's use it a few color. Just reduce the opacity to something glowing. This should be good enough, or you can just select using your color picker. Click on this, you see that, and now you do what I just did on your stroke, guys. So make it 3, and the first stroke, want it to be the color of your primary color. Let's pick from our game, and this is it. Okay, so you want to replicate that same color on the other side. So Control C, Control V to the third color. You see that on your stroke, and then the middle of your stroke, you want it to be the color of your background in a way that it looks like this. We good? Okay, then let's type in our portfolio using this font. That portfolio, I'm using JetBrains font, actually JetBrains font. So what is our color? One more time. I copied the other time, so let me just paste it back here. Paste. Okay, if you bring this into your frame, you have what? Then just all you have to do now is centralize it. One more thing is adding of shadow to this. So let's go to shadow effect. Under shadow I want to add, but now the shadow I want to add should be my original color. So I paste that into that space too. I don't like the fact that it's not, so I want to increase the opacity to 50. You can see that now. The offset is too much, so I want to bring it into the middle so that it looks like it's the one glowing. Perfect for us. If you want to increase this, you can increase it all the way to 80 until you're satisfied with your output. Right, this is 80, is glowing enough, so we keep this here. Right, so for me, I prefer to use height 44 for my medium button. So let's keep the same for this. 4450. Okay, let's do 48 then. Sorry, let's do 48 height. Let's do 50. 50 is fine. We're working on the web, not mobile, so we have 50 height. Let's just do 50 height for all of our buttons or navigations. 24, apply auto layout, then I give my margin 24, and the same on the side. If there's anything you want me to do here, I'm not sure. There's something you want me to do here that you don't know already. I believe you know this. You guys are genius. All right, so move this up, and in case I've done anything you're wondering, how did you do that, just drop it in the comment section. I promise I'm going to answer you exactly how it was created. Right, all right, so let's change this also to 50 now that we're working with 50 height, so that all of our shapes, all the elements here can all be in the same. Okay, people wondering how this shape is drawn, this shape is a polygon. You can at the same time, it means it's a triangle with 6 sides. So if you come into your triangle polygon here and you draw a triangle, you can increase the sides, the count here to 6, meaning I want you to have 6 sides, and you get this. You can at the same time go crazy with 24. You can even see that. So let's do 12. You see, that's still a lot of it. Let's do 8. All right, this is also a nice one. You can pull it out, you can pull it in from this back to 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you can explore that. So let's keep moving. Now that we're done with this whole shape, I want to bring this a little bit down. Okay, this is perfect. I believe you're still following. Another thing I see mistakes that designer make are Yes, you don't use icon from an icon pack. Don't just use icon, use an icon from an icon pack, guys. Use your icon from an icon pack. So let's bring this in, making sure that we follow our initial grid that we have designed or we have chosen. So we can turn that off using that. Just turn it off. So what is next is I want to show you. Let's see if there's anything you need to know from this part. See, how did you do that? How? Yes, I think here you go. How did you create the shape is your question. All right, I get it. So let's head back to this rectangle. Now I want to draw a square, actually a square of equal sides, equal. So if you're using 40, this also we keep it as 40. Okay. Don't forget the 8 rules is always a multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 50. Sometimes we do 4, multiple of 4. So how do you get this shape? Is either you do what I did here by using shape to cut the shape and subtract it, or you just want to go, manual. This is a bit tricky. You have to be careful if you're doing this. Once you click on enter, you find this node, and then you want to click on both nodes on this side. And now if I drag at this point, it will be too long, so I want to come here again and get another node in between of this, right? There's the first node, I need the second node here. This is one. I want another one right in this middle, okay, so you can see. So Figma will automatically show you another one at the midpoint. So I'm picking this, and I want another one at the midpoint here, this. So that by the time I move this down, I'll be able to get this. I'll do the same thing for this side. First of all, you need to find the first midpoint. Find the first midpoint on this side. Now look for the second one, and then you find the second one you can find the third one, you see, and if you click on that, you're going to find the fourth one again. So but we just want to stay on that, but we don't want to complicate things. So here we have this already. Just duplicate whatever you have here as your attribute by pressing Command Alt or Command Option C. You copy that property, then you come here and Command Option V to paste the property. You see the property you have up here is already down here, but on this side, this time I don't want it to have a gradient. I just want it to have a feel, and I don't want it to be as shouty as that, so I want to bring down this opacity of my stroke all the way down to about 16, right? And that I bring in my icon into this spot, right? Then I can frame that. Okay, that is how that is created. Okay, let's keep going. Let me look at the other thing you might want to ask. The same way I create this is the same way this is created, and then you can duplicate that. So let's keep going. Now there is something beautiful up here. Can you see this glow? This glow is good for you to have a kind of glow like this. So let's create ours. Comes to Eclipse, bring it in the frame, right? Now you want to give it the same color you have here, and now tone it down completely to something. Maybe this is okay. Come to Effects, come to Layer Blur. Now blur it. I want to give it on that layer blur a property. I want to go as far as 400 blur. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, I think that looks great. So if I want to make it look like a ray of light, I'll do something like this. I want to make it look like a ray of light. I'm not sure I would like to do this, but let's see. Let's add plus lighter to this. Without it, does it really make any difference? Not much difference, but let's just do that. until you have your desired result. You don't have to stop where I stopped. If you want to keep going until you have what you really want. Okay, so what do we do next? You're asking, we can bring this in. It's nothing difficult from what you can apply it or play out to this. All right, you guys can do this. Just type this in now, because in a fintech or in a crypto or in any fintech, practically when you're working with figures, the balance is what should carry the highest hierarchy. Give that thing the presence. People want to see their money. Give it the right presence. You see, the reason why this is size 41 and is bold enough is because this is what people want to see. I want to come to my portfolio and see my money. I want to see how much I have. Okay, so you can at the same time copy the property. Okay, I want to bring this down below. So you can at the same time copy the property of this in creating this. Just put it on this frame. Okay, let's keep going. Now, I think this is where it gets a bit interesting. How did you create this graph? How did you create this beautiful thing right in the middle? Let me show you how that is done. First of all, I want to create this. Can you see this? In form of a grid. All right, so it's actually a multiple of circles. I draw the circle, give it about 4x4, something so small, right? And I want the color to be not too far away from our background. This is okay. I want to use one E. I'll bring it down. After I want it to be on 4 also. Then I apply auto layout. Hold the two together, shift A, auto layout, then duplicate this all the way down. When you duplicate it and you're satisfied enough, you want to duplicate now this to the right, again on 4, so you can have equal spacing. Now with this, you can duplicate the entire frame here. You see this? So something is wrong with this. It's taking the shape of this part because it's an auto. So I want to set it at 4 spacing, and I want you to have that og. So Control D all the way down until you have enough to create the background you want to create. You see, it's not enough yet, so keep duplicating that until you get to the point where you see that's okay. I think that's it. So we'll bring this to the middle to create some kind of effect, like a grid, kind of grid effect on the side. Yes, this is good enough. If you want to duplicate this, you can just drag this down and duplicate it also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will give you. You see that? Well, I think we're good with this. So let's think of our graph. How that was created. Let's start by drawing something like this. Pick on your pen to start drawing some kind of irregular shapes until you have the graph you desire. Okay, and I like to stop here. Now I come down to create a shape, because if I did not create the shape, I cannot give it a fill color. All right, if you stop without connecting the dots, you don't have a fill color. Okay, now that we're done with that, we want to give it an outline or a fill, sorry, and this is the fill we're getting right now. I want it to be gradient from the background. Then the top part should be our color which we're working with. You see that? Now I don't want it to be too, I want to stop here, and maybe it's too yellow, so I need to proceed a little bit, or just bring it down a little bit in a way that it's not too shouty. Okay, all right, that is the first step. What is the second step? The second step is how do we make this have a round corner. So you come to your border radius and set this at 16 for you. That is the second one. In case you're still wondering if this works for you, let's keep going. Now I want to give an outline to this, and that stroke will be our primary color. This. Now I want to make it maybe 2. Now I want to duplicate this, because on this I do not want this to have an outline, to have a few colors. So it means if I click on enter and enter into this mode, I can delete these 2 nodes down here. Once I delete that node, this is what I get. I get an outline, not a shape anymore. You see this? So that allows me to take away the stroke from this, and I can place this stroke now on here. I hope you understand that. Please, if you don't understand, drop me a comment, put it in the chat box, and let's keep moving. I want to, now if you check the original design I designed this one, you see the outline still goes all the way, but this is showing on the place where you point your cursor or your mouse, right, or your mouse. So what I want to do is to duplicate my outline alone, Control D, Command D, right? And now I want my cursor to start from this point, meaning I can delete the entire node or to that point to have this. Okay, to have this. You're wondering what is the difference? Don't forget we already duplicated this, and this one down here we can now reduce the opacity to something in this middle, not a sharp. Yeah, I think this works perfectly. I believe so. I believe that works perfectly. So you can have a contrast between the original or the underline and the one staying above. All right. So let's continue by adding a gaze. Now this is the indicator of your mouse, simply saying that this is where I am, and you want to keep the color the same way as this. Yeah, if you want to duplicate this, you're also free to do that. If you want to do something like this, maybe make this a white or a black, using the background color, so it looks like he has a midway to it. Okay, something like that. I hope you guys understand what I'm working on here. Hopefully I'm trusting that you do. Okay, now with this, want to send this to the front so that it can come back over our frame, or if it's too much we would not love it, so we want to reduce the opacity of that a little bit to something like this. You see the difference. One more thing before we move on is let's take this back to 100. Now the color selection, let's take that up a little bit too. I want it to, okay, so let's go. Now we want to do something. Let's send this back for a minute. Now we want to what we want to do is we want to add glow effect to this one. So I come on here, come to drop shadow, and the shadow at this time is going to be the same color we've been using. You see that? And then we move the X and the Y into each other. We can increase the blur to like 16. I want it to really be here. I want to see the blur. I want to see the glow. Like I want to see the glow. I want to see the glow. Yeah, I like that. And then I can put a plus light or something here. You see? So it glows in the dark. Good. If you're still following, stay with me. Now we have this. Now we can bring this back up on the face. Now come over to our color selection. If the 100% is too much, reduce it over here. 44. If 44 works for you, works for me. But I'm not sure. And I think the color is too dark, so let's go wide a bit. Yes, I think we are getting to the point where we love this. 33. So let me do 24. I want to do 24. Yeah, 24 works. And now all I have to do is to select everything, but my frame, my everything here. Everything. So if I bring this up, allows me to select everything. Now I can frame all this so become an entity and bring this to the middle. So you can align that to the center. So what's next? That happened here because it's set at 1 month. So it means that whatever we see on this graph is showing 1 month of my portfolio. I don't want that. I don't want that. If you've been in that, it's trying to enter into this frame. So you have to do is to lock that frame so that nothing goes inside and it can be moved. So it means it's showing for October 25 to November 2025. Let's come to the token. Another thing is, what if, I think we can leave it, but it's not well blended, so let's not just leave it. We're excellent designers, so bring this down all the way to, don't forget that we're using 4. The spacing in the midst of all our shape is 4, so this still works, and I believe it's in the same frame. Yeah. So now what I want to do is to use another rectangle and create it, put it in, not in you. I want it to come in the frame. It don't want to. We have a way to go. Now I want it to be black. That's the background, because I want it to fade into the other one, and also this will be black. The only difference is this will be opacity of 0, so that when I finally get to place this rectangle into this frame, this is what I get. You see that? And I'm sending it to the top completely. Alright, so move it to the side. I can move this all the way to the top as I want it, but I think this is okay in a way that it does not show any more down there. So we can move this down a little bit. Okay, our dashboard is coming on, looking sweet and super. What is the other thing we have to add? That will be the token, and then add assets on this one. Copy it here, paste it over here, and this is where we are. There is nothing that happened in this that you don't know, I believe. And in case there is something I did you don't understand or know, drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. Share with someone who is struggling to design a beautiful interface. This is one right here. We have successfully designed a web3 or a crypto dashboard, taking inspiration from a game, and this is beautiful. Let me know if you have any question in the comments.